All right, welcome everybody to the Players Only podcast. We're gonna go over some headlines.
Yep.
We got some viewer questions. I'm here with the King of Hyrule, Jackson, aka Crow, and of course my other co-host, Austin, the fantasy football guru, and
Okay.
I'm Vince. And I'll give it to you, Austin, for some headlines in the gaming world.
Absolutely. So this is a mix for finance and gaming. We kind of talked about this earlier in the week, but EA and Nike have decided to partner up because they are deciding to add NFTs in all of their sports games. Uh, and then that's kind of where we left off on the topic, right? We were talking about it a little bit on our thoughts, but we didn't have the full breakdown. Well, press releases have been been talked about, and basically what they said is it's to better show off personality, and it's also an important part of the industry moving forward. Basically, what Nike is doing is they have Swoosh.Nike, and that is what is going to be implemented into the games. Basically, Swoosh is a virtual store where you can basically use their clothing to put onto your players, and that is what will be in the game. There will be the little crypto codes and whatnot on all of your purchases, and that will be its own individual market essentially. Uh, and basically, as of right now, everyone is blaming Crypto Bros. They say that basically everybody's blaming Crypto Bros rather than EA, Nike in general. Nike's been doing it for quite a few years. Um, my biggest thing is that everybody's really mad at EA and Nike for doing this, but CS:GO, for example, has been doing this for years. Kind of like what I was talking to you about
Yeah,
the other day, Vince.
yeah, that
A
was
knife,
totally news to me actually that CS:GO was doing that.
yeah, a knife that my favorite YouTuber, KWire Speedy, opened up the other day was a jacked up looking knife with a little bit of blood on it, and it was going for $1,000 on their market. Um, just absolutely insane. But CS:GO's been doing it for absolutely for years, and they don't get any hate. The problem is though, it is EA. EA messes with everything. EA fucks up everything. So it's more of a matter of how is this going to be implemented? How is this going to be implemented in the future? And will these NFTs be able to carry over year to year, especially with Madden? They have not fully released whether it will be with the newer Madden coming out this fall that everybody's already pissed about because the reveal trailer came out today and it looks like it was 4 years old. And they used the wrong jerseys for the Cardinals. They used the 2009 or something like that
Oh
jerseys
my
for the
god.
Cardinals. So they are getting hated on like crazy. So, and then they basically just said improved AI for the defensive backs, which is exactly what they said for last year's trailer. So, right now they're getting hate galore. But honestly, it's not really going to matter. Madden's still going to make $2 billion like it does every single year. Everybody's still going to buy it like they do every single year. I'll probably buy it again when it's on sale, like I do every single year, because I always buy it at about $20 mark. But yeah, we'll go with our guest, Jackson. What is your thoughts on this
I got a
whole
question
head?
first, but
Yeah,
it might not have been answered there. Um, so did it say if it's on like Ethereum, Cardano? Did it say any kind of network?
no, no,
Uh,
they didn't say any kind of network.
what about
I'm guessing it's probably going to be just straight up U.S. currency. Being and then the NFT is just strictly that, and then you're selling and whatever with strictly U.S.
do
currency.
you know if you hold these like in a wallet on CS:GO or if you hold on EA or any of these
Probably.
like
Uh,
a crypto
I'm
wallet, or is it just in the game?
I'm assuming it's probably some kind of wallet of some kind
Okay.
if real money is being transferred back and forth like that. But I don't play CS:GO, obviously. You guys would probably know more of the CS:GO realm than I would, or even isn't Valorant kind of under the same web of CS:GO, or is it
Yeah.
just basically a CS:GO knockoff?
I mean, it's a more well put together CS:GO. it's a flashier CS:GO. Let's go with that.
Yeah. Yeah,
It-
like you get
it's
some
a-
special abilities in Valorant.
Does it have
But
like
it's
the same
but
kind of market? You think?
yeah. But
Yeah.
it's like you get some special abilities in Valorant, but it's not like full on Overwatch where it's still like gunplay. It's not like magic and stuff.
Or interesting. But yeah, getting back into this though, Jackson being our special guest. Hearing off the headlines, obviously it sounded like he was more hearing this for the first time. Surprising, since I know you're always on Twitter, that you didn't hear the arguing from across the world. But initial thoughts, just hearing this kind of more or less for the first time, but the overarching headlines of it.
I'm not surprised. I'm just
Yeah.
disappointed. But it's EA, so I'm always disappointed. To answer your questions of how's it going to be implemented? Poorly. How will it be implemented in the future? Just as poorly. And will it carry over game to game? Knowing EA, probably not.
Probably.
Because, I mean, nothing has carried over from game to game up to this point.
Right.
So, why would they switch
Yeah,
it?
because they also do have the All Madden where you purchase the cards where they actually make all their money. They don't make actually any money off the game.
Yeah.
Most of that goes to the players and so on.
Because it's
So yeah.
because it's $10 in 3 weeks after it's released. That's why they're not making any money off it.
That's when I buy it.
No, I mean, it doesn't surprise me they're getting into this. Like, any opportunity to get more microtransactions and squeeze more money out of people, that's EA.
Yeah.
That's fair.
My thing is too, if it doesn't carry over year to year, I don't really get why they would do NFTs versus just regular old skins.
It's more
Right.
money.
Unless they just want the headline, the name. Oh, now you're buying NFTs. You're so cool.
The only thing I can think is because, like, digital things like cryptocurrency and NFTs can be such a volatile market and can, fluctuate in value, they can try to squeeze more money out of it and ride the waves as opposed to the normal
Right.
skins and shit where it's a fixed price.
Right.
Yeah.
And just remember, they're making sure to stay away from the NFT name, even though that's exactly what it is. It's it's virtual clothing or virtual items.
I guess too, if they set it up to where like you can sell things back and forth, then you can get royalties with NFTs. So maybe that's something they're trying to capitalize on.
From somebody that likes looking at like the markets and like stock markets and stuff, and like the whole reason I played basketball, fantasy basketball with you, Vince, is I like watching that market go up and down and seeing the certain value of certain ones, like Zubac, for example, in the middle of the season, he'd probably be worth crazy amount, and I didn't let him go. But watching that, it's going to be really interesting to see with EA how these markets fluctuate with the certain gear, especially with it being a brand like Nike, and how it's going to fluctuate back and forth. But then also, I'm really afraid because the COD Warzone, for example, right? They had millions of skins going out all the time, and then once they switched over from Warzone 1 to Warzone 2, hey, guess what? We didn't tell you, but your skins are not coming back.
See, and the worst part of that is you can't go back and play Warzone 1.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And I mean, hell, you got maybe an extra 6 months with Madden before everybody's on the new Madden at that point, who's at least going to be playing or semi-competitive. If it's anything like back in the day, my dad wouldn't let me play Madden until the new Madden had came out, and then he's like, "All right, here you go. This game's fucking worthless at this point. Have at it." So,
Yeah.
times haven't really changed too much. But any last minute thoughts as far as any of this goes that you guys have any kind of thoughts on?
Sounds like EA.
All right, and then the next headline that we didn't really get into at all because it happened yesterday, and brought about the biggest backlash I've seen on Twitter in a long time, probably even more than Elon Musk buying Twitter, is Twitch. trying to change up how things are run. Again, implementing more and more, and basically saying for creators, you can't do your own ads. And if you're going to do your ads, it has to be a certain way. Or you can't have your burned in ads or anything like that. Basically, there's backlash galore. Millions of people were speaking out, as far as Mr. Beast even coming in and saying, you know what, we're going to boycott Twitch so much that I'm going to go on Kick and do a full on live stream because that's where everybody's going anyway. They even had Carl Jacobs going on there threatening Twitch at this point and saying, hey, you told me to take this one video down. You practically begged me to take this video down. How about I release it now? And then basically Twitch went back and basically said, oh, hold on. It was a miscommunication, an error, whatever. This is stuff that was already technically in our community guidelines that we wanted to reiterate, but then also make it so that you weren't being screwed over by other ads that other people were trying to implement in. But a keynote that not a lot of people are talking about is if you're part of the Twitch affiliate program or you sign some kind of contract with Twitch that to only stream on their platform, is they're going to charge you $25 to be taken off that contract, so you can stream elsewhere. So that's one of the big notes for me that isn't being talked about. Yeah, so Vince, it kind of looked like you were a little confused on some of those, but Jackson, you seem to know all about this. So
I can, as luck would have it, I am very much entrenched in Twitch, being that is my platform.
Exactly.
So I can break it down for you. So, yes, Twitch yesterday announced a change to their lot of their agreement, AdSense, affiliate, whatever. The clarification was strictly for the big streamers. Like, if you look, they issued an apology that has nothing to do with guys like me. Like, that is strictly for the big streamers to be like, hey, you can still go get partnerships, you just can't run ads. So, like, I've done sponsorships in the past for like HelloFresh and Skillshare and Quip and things like that. And typically what they would have me do is have like a banner on screen keeping track of signups, or have little alerts that go on whenever people sign up, things like that. Cannot do that anymore. I was planning to, and I was actually, when I moved, I was going to shoot some like pre-recorded ads for my sponsors. So whenever I got a sponsorship, like, I'm going to run a quick break. Here's an ad for today's sponsor. Boom. I can't do that anymore. That is completely not allowed. You can still do sponsorships through like Stream Elements or direct things, but Stream Elements is going to have to redo how they work if this goes into effect, because this will no longer be functional.
So before looks like you have something to say, Vince, but before you get into it, has this changed up how you're thinking about streaming, whether it's going back to the YouTube and streaming on YouTube? Obviously, it's hard to move a community that you've already brought up, but be a small streamer and kind of go about this on Twitch is going to be very hard because they don't pay a whole lot as it is. So, what are your thoughts there?
I will touch on that in a sec. The other thing that I did want to clarify, the $25 fee. That is not just like if you want to get out of the program. That is any form of termination of your agreement. So if I decide that I don't want to be an affiliate anymore, I have to pay $25. If I do something that violates terms of service, I get fined $25 and I get terminated from the program. So any reason that you drop out of affiliate, you get paid. They did clarify for that as well. It is whatever is the smaller amounts of $25 or whatever is left in your payout pool. So like if Twitch only owes you $15, they'll just take that $15.
Well, because they're not guaranteed that you're going to pay them as it is, so
Right.
they'll just take whatever they can get.
Right. I was gonna say, yeah. How would they have a credit card or something?
Right.
Well, I mean, they would have your bank account because they need it to deposit the money.
Yeah.
So, but neither here nor there. I'm not going to be dropping out of it, at least not yet. I certainly won't be signing up for partner. I've been I made that apparent like a year ago that I have no interest in being a Twitch partner, but affiliate, like, I'm still keeping it just because it gives me a lot of tools, like, emotes, allowing to have chat bots, points, things like that.
Sure.
Just now I can't get out of it.
Yeah, so I actually saw Ninja ranting about partner on Twitch too, or some about that. Yeah, maybe you could get into why you have no interest with partner.
So the problem with partner is every contract is different, but they will, much like with affiliate, they will only offer like specialized contracts that have some leeway for the like super big names. And even then, there's a lot of hypocrisy in how they sign their contracts. Generally speaking, Twitch makes their partner contracts so you cannot put your content on other platforms. Like, technically, me taking my VODs from my stream or me taking my clips and putting them on YouTube or YouTube Shorts or TikTok, whatever, if I do that within a day, that's technically against terms of service. And it's the same thing with the partners. Like, Twitch is very controlling and very toxic with how they handle their contracts.
Interesting.
Yeah. That being said, they don't enforce it against affiliates because they don't have the time and money to be able to go through and try to police tens of thousands of channels.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Right. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how much things have kind of changed over the last couple of years with just streaming in general, where, hey, if you're streaming, you should be on Twitch because you can listen to music, you have a lot more freedom in your streams, and yada, yada, yada. And it was kind of looked down on if you were live streaming on YouTube. And now it's getting to flipped almost completely, right? While there's still a little bit of backlash out for YouTube and whatever, they implement stupid rules sometimes, but overall it's still pretty free for the most part. And they're kind of making that even freer now with not limiting what you can say about elections and whatever here with the new rules change. So it's kind of interesting how it's flipped almost drastically in that sense.
Yeah. The golden age of Twitch was 2014, 2015. And then Not that it's horrible now, but yeah.
There was like a second, well, I don't know if I'd necessarily say renaissance, but I guess more of like a gold rush for Twitch with 2020 just because of the pandemic.
Yep.
As a result, that went to their heads, and now they're fucking it up. Also, side addendum, there are currently, as it stands right now, according to StreamCharts.com, 1,980,058 affiliates on Twitch.
Good luck policing all that. Oh, significantly, but...
but as for your question, I have been planning to, for about a year now, split my streaming between Twitch and YouTube. Originally, I was going to do, 4 or 5 days a week on Twitch, and then, 1 a week on YouTube. Just streaming something on YouTube that I wouldn't be able to get away with on Twitch. Metal Gear Solid 5, because that has copyrighted music, and Twitch is much harsher on that than YouTube is. I'm definitely going to set up Kick and start streaming on that as well. I'll probably
breaking news.
Gradually move from I'll probably start out doing 4 days on Twitch, 1 on YouTube, 1 on Kick, and then eventually flip that to 2, 2, and 2.
Sure.
And then stick with that for a while.
Yeah, might as well spread it out or whatnot, and then even if you can get a little bit bigger base, you could just set up your phone a little bit and stream on TikTok too at the same time.
The problem with TikTok is you have to have you got to hit a minimum threshold for a number of followers and views to be able to do that. So I got to get there first.
Right.
I do have an editor now who is on vacation in the Caribbean right now, but when they come back, we'll be taking a renewed focus on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts especially has been really good to me.
Oh, yeah, same here. Yeah,
I've got a couple of shorts that have views in the thousands,
right,
which is better than TikTok views in the low hundreds.
Yeah, I had one today. It hit almost 100 views in the first 30 minutes. So, definitely YouTube Shorts is kind of where it's at right now. I think TikTok in general is just probably a little overloaded, and YouTube Shorts is just not being used as much as far as uploading. Because I sometimes get similar stuff over and over. So when I scroll through there. But to kind of get on a little bit of a lighter topic, Vince, you and I kind of talked about this briefly already. But for you, Jackson, something we always look forward to at the beginning of summer was E3, but that's no longer a thing anymore. But it is still the summer of gaming, and the Summer Game Fest is right around the corner. Is there anything you are keeping your eye out that you are wanting to see, that you're hyped to see, or you don't give a fuck?
Honestly, the only like game that would get much attention outside of like a new release would probably be Spider-Man 2. Unless we hear something about GTA 6. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this on... I know I've mentioned this on streams before, but I think I've mentioned this on other shows. I think I've even talked to you guys about it. Based on Rockstar's like merchandising budgets, I'm pretty sure GTA 6 is going to be shooting for a holiday release this year. Because they've allocated some like almost $90 million in marketing for the 2023-2024 season.
Yeah. I guess
if it's not that, right, what else are they going to market?
Well, they already said that they're doing up another Red Dead, but that won't be for years.
Yeah. Damn near.
And they did say they were working on something else other than GTA 6, and that was like a knights and like castles type of game. So who knows about that? Because that's the last I ever heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there has been some leaks and whatever for GTA 6, but who knows about all that stuff too? So yeah, it could be literally anything.
Yeah, Austin, let me put you on the spot quick. Back to the streaming thing. So now hearing Jackson might have some interest in Kick. Do you see yourself making any content for Kick? Short term or long term?
I haven't looked at it, haven't checked it out at all.
I've only really talk about it.
No, he's kind of stays out of the controversy for the most part. He doesn't really like talk too much about it, but he does stream primarily all over Twitch. And I believe he's a Twitch partner too. I would assume he is, with how big he is for the most part. But I mean, he's just got so much ad revenue coming in off of both YouTube and Twitch. I doubt it. But the only people I've really seen go over to Kick so far are people like Corinna and Aiden and stuff. So otherwise, I don't know anybody else on Kick that I watch.
I mean, it's definitely an early adoption sort of thing right now. Time will tell if it just becomes another mixer.
Right.
But
Yeah.
might as well.
They had Ninja, still couldn't do anything. So who knows?
We'll see if we got rule of threes, because I don't remember the name of the platform. There was a YouTube like competitor service that I was going to join that shut down on my birthday, the day that I was going to launch a channel there. Mixer shut down the day that I was planning to announce, upcoming streams for that. So we'll see if I can go 3 for 3 with killing platforms.
Jesus.
Sell your stock and Kick.
As soon as you came back from vacation and started streaming regularly on Twitch, now look what happened. Just don't go back to YouTube.
Stay away from TikTok.
It'll be fine.
For streams.
Right. But that was all I had really for headlines. So let's go ahead and hop into the viewer questions.
All right, the first question we had: best Nintendo console libraries, or top 5. I was thinking you and me, Jackson, we could just go back and forth. Starting at the top. Number 1, I got the GameCube. And again, we're just talking libraries. No, this console is backwards compatible, so it can play the old games. Just
so strictly native to that console.
yeah.
That see, 1 and 2 are for me a toss-up between GameCube and Switch. Both of them have really good, like, strong libraries. GameCube, it is more nostalgia factor. Like, it's got a couple of, like, really strong titles, but it doesn't have a, like, wide library with a lot of diversity. Versus Switch also has a bunch of really strong titles, but it's got a massive library.
All right. Oh, just wait for question 6.
All right, so 1 you got Switch.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Nintendo Switch.
All right, 2 I have Game Boy Advance.
I would probably throw GameCube at number 2.
3 Nintendo DS.
Yeah, I think that's fair. DS was a good one.
4 3DS.
I think I'll probably throw the GBA there.
All right, and then 5 I got Wii.
I was gonna say Wii.
I thought that was gonna be your guys' second. Jesus.
Honestly, I thought about it. The problem is, Wii doesn't have a lot of really great titles.
Wii
It
Sports.
it has a lot of shovelware.
Yeah.
That's all it like. It's got maybe 5 or 6 great titles, and then it's just all shovelware from there.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
A lot more quality on the handhelds, and I'm sure that's why they sell, or in the past have always sold so well for Nintendo.
Right.
A couple of them we'll get into later. But Austin, any reaction to the N64 not being on our list?
Just wait for one of our questions. Controllers.
Most spikeable, is that the question?
All right, and then we'll just run through saying 1 through 5 here quick to clip it for TikTok.
Sure.
I'll start. Best Nintendo console libraries: 1 GameCube, 2 GBA, 3 Nintendo DS, 4 3DS, 5 Wii.
For me, number 1 is Switch, number 2 GameCube, number 3 DS, number 4 GBA, and number 5 Wii.
All right, perfect. And the next question: top 5 Nintendo games, 1 game per franchise. Meaning
I'm out on this one,
you
too.
can't say 5 different Smashes, 5 different Zeldas, just 1.
So, does it have to, like, are we going in very specific order of, like, number 1, say, Ocarina of Time, and then that rules out all Zeldas? Or
Yeah.
we just pick, 5 games, 1 per or 1 per franchise in no particular order?
Yeah, so like just the best Zelda wherever you would rank it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll start again. 1, obviously Super Smash Bros. Melee.
For me, I would go Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Ooh, no Tears of the Kingdom.
I thought about it. I've been thinking about it a lot, but at the end of the day, and granted, this is like nostalgia coming at me, like rose-tinted glasses and all that. Ocarina of Time felt more like a Zelda game than Tears of the Kingdom. Tears felt more like a Zelda game than Breath of the Wild did, but you're still not quite there.
All right, clip that.
That's going straight to TikTok.
I
That's
could
a
do a
viral
full
moment.
dissertation about Tears of the Kingdom, but that's for another day. That's for my channel.
All right, number 2, I got Mario Kart Double Dash.
Well, let's see.
Wasn't surprised.
No, it was between 2 and 3. But again, I'll save my number 3 here. It's like a tier break, and then the next 2 are kind of obvious, I think, for me. 4 and 5.
will say
NHL.
Pokemon
Nice.
Platinum is my number 2.
Okay. 3, I got Pokemon Emerald.
Respectable. 0 out of 10, Too Much Water by IGN, but it's fine. I love Emerald now. Number 3. It would be a Smash Brothers game. Question is, which one would be the best? For me, probably Ultimate. I don't know. I enjoy Ultimate more than I enjoyed Melee.
Sure.
Number 4, Super Mario Strikers. Obviously.
Should we count that? Because it's still a Mario game.
It's sports. It's
I
like
mean,
its
yeah.
own
Yeah,
genre.
or yeah, Mario Kart is its separate thing.
Yeah, I feel you're splitting hairs there, but I'll put Mario Kart Double Dash for my number 4.
Well, I mean, this was the number 5 I had written down, Mario Superstar Baseball. If you don't let me say that because it's another sports game.
I was gonna say it's another Mario sports
Uh,
game, so that doesn't fucking count.
I mean, Wii Sports is close. Mario Party 7.
While you debate on that, my number
Yeah.
5 would probably be Metroid Dread. Dread was so much fun. I still want to replay Dread. Like, I haven't done the hard mode yet. Every time I play a game that's like Dread, like Hollow Knight, I just want to play Metroid Dread again. So that's another thing you can expect in sometime in the future, probably next year. Will be another Metroid Dread playthrough.
All right, and then we'll just go through and say them again. I'm just gonna say Superstar Baseball. Just can't really think of a 5th. All right, top 5 Nintendo games. 1 game per franchise. 1, Super Smash Bros. Melee. 2, Mario Kart Double Dash. 3, Pokemon Emerald. 4, Super Mario Strikers. And 5, Super Mario Superstar Baseball.
For me, number 1, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Number 2, Pokemon Platinum. Number 3, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 4, Mario Kart Double Dash. And number 5, Metroid Dread. Such a good game.
All right. Next one here, and I think Austin, you could start off. Top 5 game franchises. So again, the first 2 questions, rolling Nintendo. This is anything. And again, game franchises like, for example, all the Call of Duties.
Right.
You're not just picking one.
For sure. Actually, my first one is Call of Duty. Super easy pick. There's 1,000 of them, but the first handful were some of the most solid gaming franchise games. Period. Kind of stopped the world. Not even close. Call of Duty.
I'm assuming we're
cool.
going for our personal favorites, right?
Yeah. Personal favorites.
Okay. Well, I mean, mine's gonna be Zelda.
Yeah. And then mine, so 1 and 2 were really close when I was coming up with this list, but just Super Smash Bros. Number 1.
For my number 2 is actually Halo. Fucking love the first couple. Played the couch co-op. So many hours into that. It kind of lost me towards the end, but but growing up, it was the best.
I'll double up on that. Halo is fucking phenomenal. I have the Halo Infinite Series X. I had to. I couldn't not.
Number 2, obviously Call of Duty. Back in the day, I bought an Xbox 360 just to play that. Back when World at War was the newest COD.
Right. Number 3, Uncharted. Probably one of the best PlayStation franchises, period. They don't do too many where it's overdone like Call of Duty or Halo. It's basically a beginning, middle, and end. And it ends perfectly, and they don't plan on touching it, at least as of right now, which is fantastic.
For me, I pulled up a list of video game franchises. My God, there's so many. I'll probably put Pokemon there.
Right. And my number 3 isn't really a franchise. It's just a game that I put a lot of hours into. Not as many as Call of Duty because it hasn't been out as long. But again, a lot of hours. Overwatch.
I mean, technically, it's a franchise.
Well, I don't know. I feel like you guys would fight me on it if I just...
I would
That's
have
weird.
if the second one didn't recently come out, so that kind of makes it a franchise. But then they also have all the shorts too, which kind of makes it a franchise.
Let's be real, Overwatch 2 is just Overwatch 1 reskinned. Especially now that they've scrapped the PvE.
And 5-on-5 now instead of 6-on-6.
And,
I do
and
like
scrap.
5-on-5 better, but
Well, okay. If we're gonna get into this, I hate that they got rid of some of my favorite maps and my favorite game modes with capture the points.
yes,
It ruins Overwatch.
I
Completely ruins.
100% agree. There was no reason to get rid of 2CP,
Yeah.
and fucking push, way worse. I hate push. I
I
despise
like
push.
I like push, but I would like to have capture the points.
At least in quick play, that's what I don't get. Why they got rid of 2CP. Yeah.
At
But,
the very least, if you're gonna keep push, fucking cut the timer down. 8 minutes is way too much time.
I think in
Yeah.
quick play it's 10 minutes.
It is.
Is it? It's just,
Like,
it's stupid.
I do agree it's too long.
Yeah. But anyway, my 4 is God of War. 1 is a completely change in the franchise right in the middle to shake it up. It was great. Last 2 games been phenomenal. And even the third one was probably one of the greatest single player games I've ever played back in the day. So
See, the problem is, I have three game franchises that you could probably just interchange for 4, 5, and 6.
I had trouble coming up with 5.
I will probably. I'll probably go with Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
Okay.
Only because, like, the other 2 franchises on this list are also really good, but there's fewer games on their lists that are, like, you know, all-time classics for me. Assassin's Creed's got a couple of really good ones.
The first 2, 3.
And Mirage is coming out, and I'm very excited.
If they stick to what they're showing, and it's basically 1, and just a lot better and more thoroughly done, then yeah. Otherwise, it is lost me on the newest one.
I like 4. Like, the first 4 games are all fantastic for me, and Valhalla is...
Awful.
I think it's fantastic. Like,
Odyssey's way better.
It's much like... Odyssey is also good. It's obviously not much of a, like, traditional Assassin's Creed game, much like how Tears of the Kingdom isn't a very traditional Zelda game, but it's fun Viking game. I can sneak around, or I can just go split skulls.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me happy. I have fun. I like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Yeah, that surprised me a little bit too. I thought Austin was the big Assassin's Creed guy.
I like Assassin's Creed, but it's not on my list.
But yeah, my number 4, Pokemon. Obviously, played it when I was a whole lot younger. Played a little bit here and there. I played Moon recently. Just got done beating Platinum, so it's funny you say that. Ultra Moon, I got next. Played Black and Black 2. Those are both good.
Have you played, or are you going to play Pokemon Fusions?
Oh, the mod? Yeah, maybe.
I know Austin's pushing me to do a Nuzlocke, and don't worry, buddy. It's coming. As
Oh,
soon as,
I
I,
watched
Yeah, you
Speedy
should.
play it.
as soon as I get moved, that Nuzlocke's coming. And
As soon as I watched Speedy play, I was like, oh, I need to get Jackson on this train because it's gonna be hilarious.
I
And
kind of
then
figured.
Rogue Emerald or Emerald Rogue.
Yeah, that's just words to me.
Kaizo Ironmon.
Yeah.
Somebody beat the Soul Silver Kaizo Ironmon the other day. Which is,
I don't know what that means.
Vince, you know what I'm talking about?
Kinda.
Okay, so Kaizo Ironmon, it is like a Nuzlocke on crack.
Yeah.
You're only allowed one Pokemon. That's
Oh.
it. You cannot, so you can switch Pokemon, but it's if you catch a Pokemon and you can only attempt one catch per route, you have to release whatever your old one is. So you can swap them, but you can only have one. If you die, or like if your Pokemon faints, game over. You got to start over. All Pokemon are shifted to be 50% stronger than you. So if you have, say, a level 50 Pokemon, you're going to be taking on level 75s. You cannot use potions. You cannot heal. Or rather, you can only heal like once per area. And once you go into a gym or dungeon or cave or whatever, you cannot come out until you beat it. If you come out, you cannot go back in. You get one shot. And also,
One opportunity.
everything is randomized. Abilities, stats, moves, everything's randomized. So you can
How's
get a
it possible?
Magikarp with Hyper Beam and maxed out special attack.
Yeah,
It's-
that's just nuts. That's too much.
insane.
But yeah, anyways, where were we?
5.
Number 5.
So number 5. Kind of happy you said Overwatch because I figured this was gonna. You guys might have fought me on this a little bit, but this probably is one of the greatest 2-game franchise of all time, and that would be The Last of Us. The second game is a 12 out of 10. I don't care about the hate. Everybody can go suck dicks. It's the greatest, one of the greatest games of all time.
That will be another one that is coming, because I do horror games every October. Last of Us will be this October, because when I built my new computer, my graphics card came with a free key for the new Last of Us remake, like the
Oh,
new one.
yeah.
So I will get to experience Last of Us for the first time.
Oh, you gotta play 2.
I will. Don't worry. I'll play them both. For me, I was flip-flopping between Elder Scrolls and Metal Gear. I think I'm gonna say Metal Gear, just because Elder Scrolls, the only game that I care about is Skyrim. Like, I'm excited for the new Elder Scrolls. I don't give a shit about the others. I tried to play Oblivion. I think I got maybe an hour into it and like, this sucks. I'm just gonna go play Skyrim. People can roast me on that all they want. I don't care. I've got my opinion.
This is also the guy that bought Skyrim 30 times.
Shut up. But yeah, I'm gonna say Metal Gear because there's more games in that franchise that I like. 3 is getting its remake, and I adore 5. Phantom Pain is such a fun game.
Alright, and my number 5, you guys might not like, because I don't play it a whole lot nowadays. But when I was younger, I did, and we did a little bit in college. Just as a whole series, Madden. Played a lot more when I was younger. The best ones came out on the GameCube, once again. You're shaking your head, but like in terms of balance, offense, defense, I feel like after that, then it became 1 year the offense is too good, 1 year the defense is too good. Back then it was just better.
I think I would have given it to you if you had said Street. Like,
Well, Street only has one good game.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, those are fun. They're still broken and bullshit,
Yeah.
but they're fun and they're interesting and they're different. Madden's the same fucking game every goddamn year.
Yeah,
Well,
Austin
and
buys
that's why I
every
don't play it
single year.
anymore. That's why I don't play it
I
anymore.
buy it every like 3 or 4 years. We know we're getting the same fucking thing.
Last time I bought it, AP was on the cover. That's how long ago it was.
It's the only reason.
but no, you're right. I would a single game. Yeah, I would take Street over any Madden. To
about-
play the rest of my life.
How about we
Yeah.
split the difference and just say NFL games?
Sure.
That way we can include Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Alright, let's run through. I'll go through my 5 real quick. 1 COD, 2 Halo, 3 Uncharted, 4 God of War, 5 Last of Us.
For me, number 1, Legend of Zelda. Number 2, Halo. Number 3, Pokemon. Number 4, Assassin's Creed. Number 5, Metal Gear Solid.
Number 1, Super Smash Bros. Number 2, Call of Duty. Number 3, Overwatch. 4, Pokemon. 5, Madden.
Alright. Wait, hold on. I knew I thought I missed it. You don't have Mario Kart? That's one of the top games of all, like your top game, period. Almost.
See, I didn't want to add in mods or else we could. It was close. It was close. I was thinking of this list on the fly too, kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
Otherwise, you'd probably have Project M on there somewhere.
Well, Super Smash Bros. But yeah, that's a later question. Okay. Number 4, top 5 game controllers. No mouse and keyboard, so you can't use that as an answer. And so just for games too, you can't assume it's a shooting game or it's a party game. You just kind of got to do your top 5 favorites.
Sure. So for me, the first one, 360. It's not even close. They came out with the most perfect controller right off the bat, and then everybody's trying to emulate it for better or for worse ever since. 360 all the way.
Give me a second to find a list, like a visual list of all the different controllers.
Vince is gonna hate my list.
Here we go. I am going to do still Xbox, but I'm gonna say the. Actually, I'm gonna say the Xbox Elite controller specifically. I've got 3 Elites. They are fantastic. I like them. I like the weights. They feel good. They fit my massive fucking hands, and they're customizable.
Yeah, so does that work on the Xbox One or the Series? Or both? Okay.
Works on both.
My number 1, no surprise, GameCube controllers.
My number 2, PS5. The game controller is fantastic. It has like pretty good weight to it and stuff like that as well, and works perfectly for all games.
I've never held a PS5 controller, so I guess I can't hate that take.
I'll agree with Austin. I think DualSense is number 2. Like it is.
Oh yeah,
It's
so good.
Like the controller in and of itself is a feat of engineering. Like it's got a lot of features. It's definitely a really cool controller.
Yeah, the only problem I have with DualSense is when Vince, you and I would play. What's the doubles for COD?
Gunfight.
Yeah, gunfight. Sometimes it would mess me up because it would give us like rocket launchers or something like that, so it messes up your reaction time just a little bit. So that would mess up for competitive play, but otherwise it's fantastic.
Sure, you can turn that off somehow.
Yeah, if it's the adaptive triggers that you're talking about, you can turn that
Yep.
off.
I know it. I like
my
it.
issue with the DualSense is there's a little like sensor trackpad on the like fucking bottom right here, and I constantly, because my thumbs are so long, I'll accidentally swipe like the top corner of it, which can fuck with me in certain games.
Sure.
My number 2, the Xbox 360 controller. Again, so when it comes to a shooting game, that's my number 1 controller. Party game or fighting or whatever else, GameCube controller. So that's kind of why I have them one.
Right. Then my 3 is actually the Series S. Basically just the 360, but they've updated it a tad and whatnot. And so I can't really hate it too much. And hey, I play consoles. I'm running out of space there.
It's got a good feel to it. Also, the texturing on the back of the controller.
I like that.
Nice. Yeah.
I really like that.
For me, I'll probably go with GameCube controller. It's a classic.
There we
Especially
go.
for Smash. And like the only reason that it's at number 3, and I honestly was kind of tempted to put it at number 4, it hurts to grip. It hurts to hold for a long time because big hands.
Yeah,
It's not built
yeah,
for
because you
people
got
like
big
me.
hands. You got the big hands bias.
It's not meant for people like me.
All right, number 3, I got the PS4 controller. So I should add in here again. I have not held the new PS5 and Xbox Series X controllers, so I've only used last gen. So that's my number 3. Again, I got smaller hands, so that's kind of why I like it too.
Yeah, I don't like
Over my number 4, which I'll save.
DualShock hurts my hands.
Yeah. PS4 controller is solid, so I can't hate that pick. Number 4 is the N64 controller.
Why?
For starters, the N64 was my first gaming console, period. So I learned how to play video games on the N64.
Okay.
But hey, it was
Look.
probably one of the greatest controllers ever made.
No. Look, my first console was an NES. You don't see me going, oh, this fucking square stick, my fucking chocolate bar is the best. That's not an oval, it's a square. The SNES is the fucking oval. Point being, like, it doesn't mean that it's good. Like,
Yeah,
fucking the
I could play
trident
COD on the
ass
64
thing.
and be perfect at it.
Like, how, like, it's like trying to hold the spaceship. Like, how do I hold it like this? Like this? Like,
Oh, you hold it in the
jack
middle.
off the controller? What do you do?
You hold it in the middle. You press the other buttons on your other hand.
Like, what, do you hold it like a joystick, like an old school
Yeah.
stick? Like,
No, you
The
like
only thing
this,
that
and then you go
controller-
like that.
The only thing that controller is good for is spiking across the room if fucking Mario doesn't decide to run in the right direction and I fall off the goddamn map for the 5th fucking time.
One of the greatest controllers ever made.
Yeah, it's
And-
also one of the controllers that I broke.
Someone that changes out N64 joysticks too, those things don't last as long as GameCube controllers. Like, not even
No.
close. Those things-
Just tear into your hands.
Alright, go ahead, James.
I think I'd have an easier time controlling it with a fucking Phillips head screwdriver. Anyway, I will say for number 4, I'm just gonna do a general blanket, just Nintendo Pro controllers. So Switch and Wii U, and if you want, I think the Nintendo Wii had one like this towards the end of its life cycle. That was a lot thinner, but it's a Nintendo controller in the Xbox form factor, so it feels good. The buttons are flipped, which fucks with me whenever I switch between Xbox and Nintendo, but I mean, I get over it. So, I'll go with Nintendo Pro controllers.
Number 4, I got just Xbox One controllers. Yeah,
For sure.
little big, little thick. Wish they were a little bit smaller, but
The
For
Series
number
controller is
5.
not the same.
Okay. Yeah, a little bit.
In terms
but-
of form factor.
Yeah. For my number 5, I was in between 2, and it was pretty close, but I'd rather go with the one that'll piss off Vince, PS4. It was between GameCube and PS4, and I'll go PS4 all the way. GameCube sucks.
I am at a toss-up between the original Xbox controller, just because I like the Duke, because, big hand bias, and also
Sure.
it's a classic, or the fucking dark horse pick, which is probably what I'll go with just to throw people off. Sega Dreamcast controller, because it's another big controller for big-handed people, but it was the first one to attempt to have that little LCD screen on there with, you know, the memory chip. So Sega tried to innovate. They just unfortunately fucked up their marketing between the Dreamcast and the Saturn.
But otherwise, they feel pretty comfortable.
Yeah,
Never
it
held
feels
one.
like it's not as good as, like, say, the Pro controller or the Xbox controllers.
Or the GameCube controller.
I think it's better than the GameCube controller. Not by much, but it is. For people like me, you probably wouldn't like it as much. Beats the hell out of the N64 controller.
All right, and my number 5, I got one I think Austin forgot. So I almost went Wii Remote and Nunchuck, almost, for number 5.
Yeah.
But it's actually the Wii U gamepad. That was a better controller, more comfortable than Wii Remote and Nunchuck.
It was nice to use during Smash, that's for sure.
Yeah, you can get your own screen and
Yeah.
mic on there.
Don't fully consider that a controller. That's the only reason it's not on my list. It's more like almost like a companion console, or at least that's how I used my Wii U a lot. Like when I had it, when I played it, I essentially just put the game on the Wii U gamepad, went upstairs and just played on my couch, treating it like the Switch before the Switch.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. If you're using it that way, I guess. In mind, I don't really use it like that. It would just be like, I just think of playing Smash on it and then watching the TV. You know.
I don't really like it as a standard controller just because it's too wide, it's too big, and it's too flat.
You get used to it.
You do not.
Yeah.
Your hands cramp up is what they do. Not as bad as with the fucking Joy-Cons. Those things are built for toddlers. Bro, I could grip like 3 Joy-Cons in one hand.
But so again, like I was close to Wii U and Nunchuck, Wii Remote and Nunchuck, but like I would way rather play Smash on the gamepad than the Wii Remote and Nunchuck. So that's kind of why.
As far as just using it as a controller, it's still better than the Wii U Nunchuck. Just the Wii U Nunchuck were debatably more innovative. I don't know. I guess the Wii U gamepad was pretty innovative as well.
Regardless, they're both better to play Smash on than the N64 controller.
Exactly.
All right, Austin, you want to say yours?
Yeah, so top 5 game controllers. 1, the 360. 2, PS5. 3, Series S. 4, N64. And the 5, PS4.
For me, number 1 was the Xbox Elite controllers. Number 2 was the DualSense PS5 controller. Number 3 was the Nintendo GameCube controller. Number 4 was just general Nintendo Pro controllers. And number 5 was the Sega Dreamcast controller.
Number 1, I got GameCube controllers. 2, Xbox 360 controllers. 3, PS4 controllers. 4, the Xbox One controller. And 5, the Wii U gamepad.
Alright. The next 2 are going to be fun.
Alright. Number 5, dumbest thing Nintendo has ever done. I'll start. Because you guys probably think I'll pick something Smash related here. You know, I could talk about like some of the YouTube policies back in the day. The thing, like, or even the Splatoon drama a few years ago, the thing they kind of screwed up and then really should have apologized for was the mom and pop shop that had the Etika bracelets after he committed suicide, and they CMD'd them just because they were called like Etikons or something, and you can't say cons because they're like Joy-Cons. I feel like 99% of other companies with the backlash they got would have, okay, let's change the name, and then boom, I'll make a donation to mental health, some kind of mental health awareness.
Right. My dumbest thing Nintendo's ever done is their cardboard Labo, whatever the fuck VR BS. They literally sold cardboard to kids, marketed it to kids perfectly, and then charged $40+ for these things. It's ridiculous. Cardboard is so flimsy. It's ridiculous. It's the stupidest thing in the world. And it's predatory marketing at its finest.
You know, to varying degrees, y'all talked about two of the ones that I was planning to bring up. I was thinking about, you know, the way that they treat third-party people working with their IPs, be it, you know, like custom controllers or custom fan games. Nintendo's just like, nope, can't do any of it. And then I was like, all right, well, Vince is out. I guess I'll do, you know, both of their forays into VR, the Labo and the Virtual Boy. Never mind, that one's out, so I'll just stick with my original fucking plan, which is marketing of the Wii U. Why the fuck would they name a console Wii U right after the Wii was a thing? Like, I don't know who the hell thought that was a good idea. When I worked at GameStop, I could not tell you how many times I had to deal with some sort of issue of people thinking that it was, you know, a Wii U was just an expansion or an accessory, or the Wii U games would work for the Wii, or just, you know, whatever, what have you.
So, with yours, when we go back to 2012, I literally had no idea the Wii U came out. I still thought the Wii was the newest thing. I didn't know until 2014, college, Smash, all that, oh, they have a Wii U. So, games, and where did they post any of the advertising? Like I was, you know, living on a dirt road at this time, but still, I didn't see it on TV or Facebook or anything. Like,
they didn't campaign very hard. They certainly didn't do as much marketing as they do with the Switch.
Yeah, like right after the Wii sold well and all the games, you figured they'd have money, but
Right. Definitely.
If I ever come across the Labo cardboard, Austin, I'm giving that to you.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Don't want it.
Yeah, you and Lucas are gonna set it up and test it for me.
Absolutely not. No.
No, it's not allowed in the Finch household.
Absolutely not. With the next question, I am actually going to go last on this one for sure.
Okay. I'll kindly go first on number 6 here.
Yeah, so most overrated consoles of all time.
Okay. Before I say this, again, it's not. First off, my answer is in the Switch. It's up there, but it's not that. This is a console I see day after day. Kids younger than us, you know, talk about how good it is, and they weren't even around to experience it. So I think I know more about this console than them. The controller sucks. N64, most overrated console of all time. Like, what game franchise is better? Okay, maybe, you know, Jackson will say Zelda, Ocarina of Time. I'll give that to you, even though Majora's Mask was way harder than it should have been. But like, what else does it do better than the GameCube? You know?
No, let's find out.
Not Smash.
Okay.
Not Mario Kart.
Mario 64.
Not the NFL games.
Mario 64.
Superman 64.
No.
Donkey Kong 64.
What about GoldenEye?
GoldenEye.
No, and that's an overrated game too. There, you get two answers.
I don't know about that one.
Mario 64, Donkey Kong
Plus, this was
64, GoldenEye.
With GoldenEye, this was way before online. Like, that's great they brought it back, and you can play it on a controller where you can actually aim and move. So I think it's better in the modern day than it was 30 years ago, 20 years ago.
If there was no GoldenEye, there'd be no Call of Duty.
Well, the guy that made Call of Duty came from Medal of Honor, Vince Zampella. Fun fact for you.
Well, yeah, but the whole gaming part of first-person shooters and all that changed because GoldenEye was such a hit. There you go. there's some gaming history for
Okay.
you.
Okay, and that's great. But I think you guys have seen it too, where kids younger than us call N64 and the games and the controllers so good on some kind of social media, and then you look at them and it's like you weren't even around in those days. You probably don't even have
played the
one.
games.
Like, get out of here. You play all Xbox stuff. You don't even know Nintendo. Stop.
Alright, go ahead, Jackson.
So, I'm gonna start up another flame war. Piss off a lot of certain people. Another system that I think very overrated. Again, terrible controller. Another console that's just got a lot of like shovelware bullshit. It's got some strong titles. And granted, it did spawn two really good franchises. I will give it that. But its top like 10 games aren't even like major first party titles.
I know where this is going.
And
Grab a beer.
it is the highest selling console only by technicality and only because of reasons that it shouldn't be. The PlayStation 2.
Oh.
It is the highest selling console only because it was a Blu-ray or it was a DVD player that was cheaper than actual DVD players. So people bought it to be a DVD player and not a fucking game console. So it has inflated numbers higher than it should be. Now, caveat, it gave us God of War and it gave us Ratchet and Clank. And it gets points for that. Because those are phenomenal franchises that go well beyond what the PS2 should be credited for.
What else did the PS2 give us that also spawned in a little bit more extra to the franchises? Because Vice City and GTA 3 did so well on the PS2, it spawned in more. So then we got GTA 4 and then GTA 5.
Which is an overrated cash grab of a game.
But when it came out, I mean, you played it so much you got banned off of it because you're modding it.
Spoilers!
Hey, that's for later. That's for later.
That's a later question. You fucking ruined that.
but it also had perfect games like, I don't know, the Godfather franchise, which are phenomenal if you go back and play those. I'm playing them now and some of the PlayStation 2 games. Play testing some games for events and whatnot. It's a major throwback. The Star Wars Episode 3, phenomenal.
I will also give it credit. Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's about where the credits and commendations go. Its sales numbers are hyper overinflated, and it's not as strong of a console. It didn't
be ready for mine
as much.
Yeah.
Like, I would put PS4 and PS1 far above PS2.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say something unforgivable friendship-wise, but okay.
So again, Jackson, it's funny you say PS2 because I did just buy one at a garage sale last weekend, and this PS2 is one that crossed my mind when I was thinking of this list because it's like, I did have a friend, and like Battlefront was good.
Yep.
But it's like otherwise we were always on the GameCube, or the Wii. Like I don't know, we were never really.
Exactly. Like I have a PS2. It's collecting dust in a box somewhere.
Because it's like 20 years old.
When I was a kid, I played Spider-Man 2. I played Need for Speed Underground, and I played Ratchet and Clank, and that was it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I played on my Xbox and I played on my GameCube.
Yeah, and then like again with this conversation, it's just not worst. It's most overrated, and I do see people again. This is why it crossed my mind. I do see people on TikTok, social media saying, "Oh, the PS2 is so good," and they don't ever talk about the games except like Battlefront.
I'm not saying it's a bad console.
Right.
Like it still, even without the DVD player, would have far outsold the Xbox. Like there was never a contest between Microsoft and PlayStation. I'm just saying that it's overinflated.
And that's just like me with the N64. I'm not gonna say it's bad. Like if we were hanging out, I'd play the Mario parties, try the Smash, Mario Kart, GoldenEye. I would even do, but I don't. It's just the people. Oh, best ever, best ever. It's like, what about the GameCube? Like the next one afterwards.
Right.
So I'm curious, Austin, what did you think I was gonna say that was a friendship ender?
Oh, I just said the PlayStation consoles in general are trash compared to the rest of them. I was waiting for something stupid. I was about to go on. This podcast is going to turn into a whole different thing.
It's gonna turn into war.
I'm a PlayStation fan. I've got every PlayStation. I'm happy with.
Before you,
I was bracing for the arguments.
before you said it was a PS2, I thought you were gonna say the Wii. But again, the PS2 is the better answer. But right, the Wii that crossed my mind too. But I don't see enough people saying it's the best ever, like PS2 and N64.
Yeah.
So all right, Austin.
All right, the easy answer for the most overrated console of all time, not anywhere close, is the Nintendo Switch. 100,000%. Look, man. Even watching you play Tears of the Kingdom, I'm like, man, these graphics are PS3. I mean, we are in the golden age of graphics where you can make anything look like a movie, and we're still looking at the worst animation and graphics, just period. The games are just knockoffs of Wii U games. I mean, you got the Super Smash Ultimate is basically just the previous Smash with everything else thrown into it. You had the Mario Kart Deluxe and whatnot. It's just all the Mario Karts just all put together and thrown in there sloppily. It's not really anything special. You got two of the biggest games on this console, and it's just because of the name. It's not because of necessarily the graphics are amazing and whatever. They ripped off Skyrim and then put Zelda on it. But I mean, honestly, it's just like that's about where it goes. I mean, other games that are on it aren't really all that great, and the graphics are not that great. The console itself, right? The Joy-Cons, the battery life, awful, and they have the drift that gets really bad after just a year. And the controller itself, the little plastic thing, is jack for what you get for it.
Yeah,
Nintendo in general is, Nintendo in general seem to have cut a lot of corners for it.
So
here we go.
yeah, it's only fair.
It's all opinion.
If you're getting stick drift after a year, you're doing something wrong, because I've had the Switch since day one launch and I haven't had drift on any of my Joy-Cons. I had one Joy-Con that had a little bit of pull, and all I had to do was pop it open, clean it, and it was good. So whatever you're doing to get drift within a year, that's a you problem. I will not deny that they did certainly cut some corners as far as production goes. I know they did that to try to keep the price at $300, because that is their target price. I'm going to say something that is going to infuriate and diminish a lot of people, but this is not an opinion, this is a hard fact. Graphics aren't everything. There's more to
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Support that.
There's more to games than just a pretty face.
Just like Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Well, that's different. Melee's how old?
21.
The Zelda game
22,
just came out. You need some polish to it. You don't need to make it look like a PS3 game. You don't need to make it look like it's 15 years old. Like the new Gollum game that came out literally looks like a PS2 game and is universally being hated. One, because the game doesn't work in general, but it's also because it looks awful.
I mean, you're working within the limitations of the hardware, so you're not going to get God of War running on the Nintendo Switch. That was never their design. But you know what the Nintendo Switch does do? It revolutionized a chunk of gaming. Like, you can play on the go or at home. It's a hybrid console. So much so that PlayStation decided that they wanted to make the PS Wii U.
Well, the Wii U came first.
Yeah, I know. But the fact remains that they're so far behind Nintendo as far as trying to copy them. They went a generation back to see if they can maybe do it.
Yeah, so I got two comments on the Switch take. So part of the reason I couldn't make this most overrated because I do feel like if you look at it from the handheld perspective, because Nintendo they ended the DS and the Wii U, so I look at it as they tried to do both. Pokemon's on it. They succeeded in a handheld sense, and the people that want those kind of games. I don't think they succeeded in the home console sense. That was like the first thing I was gonna say. Second thing, like the flip side of that, and then the most underrated console might be the Wii U because the games are so similar. Breath of the Wild came out on both. Smash 4, Smash Ultimate, similar. Mario Kart 8,
Yep.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe,
It's
Mario
definitely
Maker.
like I said, if Nintendo hadn't blundered the Wii U, just
Marketing
general?
wise, yeah.
yeah, it probably would have done a lot better than it did.
The Wii U lifespan was only like 3-ish or 4 years, wasn't it?
No,
It started in
Wii U didn't
2012.
Oh shit, never
that
mind.
thing lasted for 5 years.
But right, we
And
didn't know
then-
about it until 2014 because of Smash.
They continued
Right.
to sell that for another like year or so. So that thing had a 6-year life cycle.
Yeah, because I don't think we even knew about it, Vince, until you came to visit. Because we were in Liz's room, and all of a sudden her roommate got the new Wii U, and we were looking at it because they were playing like Smash or something like that on it.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it from Smash, like, yeah, just everyone talking about it there, and like
Right.
how hyped everyone was and all that.
Right.
Um,
All right.
but yeah, I guess we can save most underrated console or wait for someone else to ask that later. But yeah, I guess that'll be mine, Wii U, or I'll think of something else. Number 7, favorite mod / fan created game. Yeah, Austin, did you have one here?
No, I'm out on this one. I'm a console player. You don't get those.
Lame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you got one, Jackson?
I'm kind of torn. I played a lot of Pixelmon for like 3 years or so. And
Yeah.
granted, Nintendo shut it down. But when it was running, that took over YouTube for a little bit.
Speedy was
Or
even
at least-
playing it,
Speedy still plays it. They play it every year.
even though he's
The
not
newer one
supposed to.
that's out.
Yeah.
But like, that one was a really good one. Either that, and granted, I didn't get a chance to play it, and I lost my copy because my computer died. But Pokemon Uranium was such a big deal that Nintendo sent an cease and desist and pursued it vigorously to get it shut down and any possible copies like wiped off the internet. Like they pursued that thing vigorously. So
Wow.
one of these days I'll find a copy and I will play it. See what
And
all the
stream
hubbub
it?
is about. Yeah, I will stream it and I will nuzlocke it.
Perfect.
My understanding, it's gonna go very poorly. That's what I'm all about.
All right, my favorite mod. So first off, you guys probably think I'm going Project M here, a different one of the other Smash mods, one of the Pokemon mods, like Pokemon MMO. I did do Pixelmon a little bit.
Can I guess?
Sure.
COD Zombies.
Well, did I already tell you?
No.
Okay. Yeah, Call of Duty Zombies, specifically on World at War. For console people like Austin that don't know, on PC, you can there's literally a spot to click on that says mods. So, it's just nice that, I don't have they don't have like a company shutting this down. They don't have like a Nintendo, Activision, or Infinity Ward or whatever doesn't care.
Right.
But yeah, back in the day, or like a few years ago, I guess not way back in the day, but a few years ago when I first started playing the modded Call of Duty Zombies maps, it was like I was playing zombies for the first time all over again, and that was crazy. And I get someday when you get a PC, Austin, you'll definitely have to get World at War.
I only knew. Oh, I'm sure, and I only knew it because when you would stream it, I'd be watching and stuff like that. And you streamed it pretty heavily for a while, so as soon as you said Project M was out, I figured it was zombies.
And you got to keep in mind too, there's so many maps I never even tried. Like, And again, it was so easy to set up compared to other mods, fan-made games, because again, there's not a company trying to shut it down. Activision's more for, I mean, some developers are for mods, like, you know, if any of us played like the Fallout ones or Skyrim and stuff, if those could easily made it.
Alright, so, number 8.
Story time.
Banned from a video game platform. For me, no. So it's all you guys.
Well, I got 2. I got 2, and both of them are not because of myself. Jackson's laughing so hard. Alright, on the Wii U, PictoChat, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. You guys got me banned because Jackson drew Dr. Mario smoking a blunt. And then,
it was a bong. It was a bong, thank you.
It was a bong, whatever. He's getting high. And then in quotes, medical marijuana. Which
it was a bong that had a little toad trapped inside with his fucking nose being squished up on the bong.
Kids play this game. And then the other drawing that got me in trouble was you, Austin, drawing Donkey Kong with a monster dick. Again, kids play this game. You guys are part of the reason they took that out of PictoChat. Seriously.
Donkey Kong with his massive dong.
We are the drama. Oh.
I still have a picture of the medical marijuana somewhere too. Probably way down in my Google Photos. That's legendary.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I will never apologize for it, and I'd do it again. Oh god.
Oh yeah. And then the other time I got banned. Okay. Again, this didn't have to do with me, but they did it on my account. If you guys ever met, or Austin, you probably remember Danny. Xbox 360 days. There's just someone in high school, didn't know me, so that's why I did this on my account. Sent a straight up death threat. And for the kids watching, back in those days, you know, you could do that and it wasn't a big deal. Or obviously nowadays it would be a big deal. And I did get a 1-day ban. And I hardly knew the kid too. So it's not like I was like in on it either. Danny just did it, didn't even give a shit when I got banned too. Couldn't play. It was like a Friday night too.
All right, Jackson.
Yeah, tell us about how you got banned, Jackson.
Oh, what one could I tell you? How many stories I could choose from?
So it's more than GTA?
Yeah, oh yeah. I've gotten banned a couple of times. But yeah, we'll go with the GTA story, because that's the one that I know you guys want to hear. I played a lot of GTA back in the day, because that was what my friends were playing. And when, you know, I wanted to try and make a bunch of money, because then I could afford to pay for, like, rides and weapons and shits for us to be able to do things. So I would do the gun running missions, because those were the easiest and quickest way to make cash back in the day. But it became frustrating to try to do gun running when you would have guys just come up from out of nowhere and fucking blow up your thing with 50 rocket launchers, because, you know, hacking is okay. So I'm like, alright, fuck this. I'm sick of it. So I got a hack client for GTA 5 for the only purpose of making it so I couldn't be shot, so I could just do gun running. That's all that I did. And these guys, who were also hacking, mind you, like, they were flying around and firing rockets and shit at me, freaked out because I couldn't be killed, and I'm the one who got banned. not only did I get banned, my account got completely wiped. All of it, everything, all of my progress, the money that I put into the game, gone. Could not be appealed either. Like, I tried to appeal it, and they're like, nope, no appeal. Fuck you. I have not played GTA 5 since.
And the other time you got banned?
Don't worry about it.
What did you
Questions
say?
later. No, don't worry about it. Moving on.
All right. Question number 9. Viewer question number 9. Top 5 Pokemon generations. So just to be clear, again, if you pick, Generation 1, it's obviously red, blue, yellow. There's any other games on like the N64 that came out at that time, like Stadium, that's included. But yeah, otherwise, I'll get it started with the obvious Generation 3. You got Emerald, you got 2 great GameCube games, Pokemon GameCube games that no one talks about. And Fire Red and Leaf Green, so you got the best version of Kanto. And yeah, nothing else to say, just a lot of the best. Might be when Pokemon peaked. I don't know.
I would give that to you. And I mean, Grant, I do give that to you. Like, that is a very fair answer. It's very valid. The Shadow Pokemon games, Coliseum and XD are both phenomenal, underrated classics.
Had to beat them to complete the Pokedex.
Ruby, Emerald, Sapphire, fantastic. Fire and Leaf Green, fantastic. The only reason that it is edged out into number 2 for me, and by the slimmest of margins,
Oh boy.
is because Gen 4 for me is number 1. That was like the game that I played the most in my childhood. The Pokemon game I played the most. Pokemon Platinum was everything to me. I love every single Pokemon that came in Generation 4. It also spawned my favorite Pokemon, Lucario, came from Generation 4. It's got some great movies that came out. It was a great generation. So, for me...
And I mean, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, those would count for it too.
That too.
So that's actually why I have that as my number 2, Generation 4. But for me, it's by a wider margin. It's not...
For me, it's
that's
the
where,
slimmest of margins.
Yeah, that's where we disagree a little bit. But yeah, again, number 2, Generation 4. Battle Revolution on the Wii was shit, so that doesn't really help. But Heart Gold, Soul Silver, you can go back to Kanto and those, so... Yeah. And then I guess your 2 is 3. Generation 3.
My 2 is Gen 3. We just flip.
Yeah. Number 3, I got Generation 2. Old school. So with the old games, the argument you can make... I mean, even 3 and 4 had this harder. A little bit of difficulty. Okay? So Austin, he bought Platinum. Or, I mean, not Platinum. Brilliant Diamond or whatever on Switch. I played it, and I basically beat the whole game in a night. Didn't have to train any Pokemon. Again, I played Moon. Kind of walked through that. A lot of trainers with, just one Pokemon, so it's kind of easy. 1 and 2, it was actually kind of difficult. You had to grind a little bit. You really had to know what you're doing. It wasn't as easier, the menus and everything. So yeah, I got 2. And also in Johto, obviously, you can go back to Kanto. So I can't have 1 as number 3.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I was originally gonna have Gen 1 there, but I think I'll put Gen 2.
Alright, I talked you into it. And number 4, I got Gen 1. Again, difficulty. Still a lot of good Pokemon in Kanto. There's a good sized margin between 1 and 2 to me. Now, Generation 1 and my number 5 answer, it is really close. Like, I've kind of been going back and forth for a little bit on it. But yeah, what's your number 4?
I was gonna say Gen 1, but then I realized that Fire Red and Leaf Green don't actually count towards Generation 1,
Right, right.
which knocks it down. So I'm gonna say Gen 5 is my number
Oh,
4. Because that's
okay.
another, like, really tough one. It gives you a good challenge, but it's also got a wide variety of a lot of good Pokemon. Also, I think that's where Volcarona comes from, which is one of my favorites. Or is that Gen 6? I don't remember.
And
I'm gonna
and I can't kill you for that because again, my number 5 is Generation 5, uh,
Yeah,
and I
Gen
was going back and forth with 1 and 5.
Gen 5 gave us Volcarona, which is another one of my favorites. And then for my number 5 is Gen 1 because, it's the start of Pokemon.
Yeah. Yep. And again, a little bit harder, not just walking through the games. So yeah, that surprises me. I thought we were gonna be kind of different towards the end. I guess what are your like this is like a side question, but now you got me curious, Jackson. Like what are like your complaints with like Generation 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever they're
So
up to?
I played very, very little of Gen 6. I skipped that generation. I went back through and I played through a little bit of it on an emulator on my phone, but I didn't end up finishing it. Uh, so I really just don't have any thoughts on it. Yveltal is really cool. That's about the extent of it for me. Gen 7 I didn't particularly like because it didn't feel like a Pokemon game to me. Um, like the whole Alola Islands are cool and
Yeah.
all. Tapu Koko is a really fun Pokemon. I like how they wrote him in the game
Yep.
as much as you can ride a Pokemon anyway. Uh, but it falls short on a couple of factors. Gen 8, which was the Galar region, was really cool. Like they had a lot of cool ideas. They just didn't go far enough, I guess. It felt Gen 8 was like the Skyward Sword of Pokemon. Like they were kind of like dipping their toes in the waters like what can we do with Pokemon to try to innovate this? How
Yeah.
different can we make it while still making it feel like Pokemon? And then Gen 9 is just a disaster. Like they had a lot of great ideas, they just fucked it. They rushed it. They definitely rushed Scarlet and Violet. It should not have been released as early as it was. My thought process, my theory, the reason why they rushed it so bad, I think they wanted the extra time to work on Generation 10. I think Gen 10 is going to come out on the 35th anniversary of Pokemon, and they wanted the extra time to polish up that game and make sure that we delivered something befitting an anniversary.
So then you think this holiday season will get some kind of remakes?
Probably.
Yeah.
Be it a remake or a port or a spin-off or something.
But yeah, I guess we kind of see eye to eye on things more than I thought we would. Except the 1 and the 2. I don't know. I guess we're still kind of different there. But yeah, Moon. When I played that, it was like there's way too much dialogue. Like no kid's gonna read all this. Again, tons of trainers with just one Pokemon, so it's like not hard until the end. I would give the last 25% of the game is really good. Some the story kind of brings it home. Actually get some tough battles finally at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of starting on Ultra Moon now. So.
That being said, I did like Generation 8 how they handled the Pokemon League. Like the idea of it being a tournament style thing, I think that was pretty neat. I would like it if they did that more. But
Yeah.
I digress.
So then, how would you compare the newest Gen 4 remakes to the old ones?
Oh, they don't compare. The originals.
all right, yeah, we agree on that. We agree on that. Like,
That being said, I did catch my second ever shiny in the remakes.
well, don't they make it easier
I
in
mean,
these newer
they
games?
do,
Which
you have to
which I don't
play-
really like either. I feel
You
like
gotta
it
get
makes-
it in the first game for the remakes. Other than that, it's more or less standard. I
Yeah.
got lucky. I had a friend who happened to have a Japanese Ditto, so he just let me borrow it, and then I just bred 370 some odd eggs until I finally got a shiny. But I mean, hey, it beats the hell out of 5,000 or whatever the odds are.
All right, but yeah, again, we agree on a lot here. I like your answers. And yeah, if you guys want to do top 5 Halos now, Austin, you
Yeah.
start.
Yeah, so looking through, number 1 was actually pretty easy. Halo 3. I feel like that's where they sort of should have stopped. They kind of made it more or less a perfect game out of it, and of course they just continued. But Halo 3, great story, great graphics, just all around pretty perfect.
I zoned out because I'm tired. What was the question? What are we doing?
Top 5 Halo games, because I didn't have anything for Pokemon, so I'm going through Halo. You don't necessarily have to get in on it if you don't want to, but
Or maybe, yeah. At least, what's your favorite? What's the best one for Jackson?
I am torn between Halo 3, Halo 2, and Halo Reach. They're all fantastic.
yeah.
I'm just gonna put a general blanket, like, those are my top 3. Arrange them in whatever order you want.
So yeah, Halo 3 was my number 1. For number 2, Halo Reach, just phenomenal. Original Halo is my number 3. Number 4, Halo 2. And then number 5, Halo Wars. Halo Wars was a nice little change up of the concept, and overall it was pretty solid. Not great, but it's solid.
I never played Halo Wars.
It's solid.
I
Basically
would go,
StarCraft.
I
Yeah, I
would
was just
go
gonna say that.
number 4, Halo 1, number 5, ODST. I enjoyed ODST. The story was pretty
All right.
Yeah, and then now, do you guys want to say for TikTok, and then we'll do the Pokemon ones again? We forgot.
Yeah. So, top 5 Halo games. Number 1, Halo 3. Number 2, Halo Reach. Number 3, Halo. Number 4, Halo 2. Number 5, Halo Wars.
good. Me, top 5 Halos. Numbers 1, 2, and 3 can be any order of Halo 2, Halo 3, or Halo Reach. Take your pick. Number 4, Halo 1. Number 5, Halo 3 ODST.
Okay, and then you want to do your top 5 Pokemon now?
Sure. Top 5 Pokemon generations. Number 1 was Generation 4. Number 2 was Generation 3. Number 3 was Generation 2. Just realized it was going backwards. Number 4 was Generation 5. And number 5 is Generation 1.
Alright, top 5 Pokemon generations. First, Generation 3. Second, Generation 4. 3, Generation 2. 4, Gen 1. 5, Gen 5.
All right. And now to just kind of wrap up the podcast here, we got one last final question. So we'll start with you, Jackson. What game are you best at?
Now, are we talking just blanket in general, or specifically like multiplayer? Because that
Just go.
depends on the answer.
You
Probably
can
still
you can
go.
say single players, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. If we're going in general, just any Zelda game. Like, I'm just good at Zelda.
What's one you can beat without dying?
Ocarina. I would probably need a few warm-up runs. I bet I could do a no-hit run of Ocarina
Damn.
in one sitting.
Alright, Austin, what are you best at?
So back in the day, it would have been Gears 2, just phenomenal. As you know, Vince, I could sit in that one little house and just snipe people's heads off all day, and not even break a sweat. But right now, if I had to choose, it'd be Overwatch. If I'm in a good match, I'm just mowing people down left and right. It's not even close. So.
Granted, it helps a lot more if you have a world-class Pocket Mercy.
We don't get those these days, so.
Oh, don't say
No.
Overwatch.
What do you
Or is
mean?
that an honorable mention?
Right now it'd be Overwatch, yeah.
Alright. But no, my answer's not Overwatch. Alright. The game I am best at. So, a little bit of a backstory. The first two, I'll just say it, Call of Duty Black Ops. So again, this is like, before I knew you guys. The two Call of Duties I played before this, World at War a little bit, and Modern Warfare 2, I sucked. Like, there was a girl we went to high school with that was better than me. Like, I was that bad. And again, coming from Nintendo, I didn't play any shooters. So I was trash in Modern Warfare 2. And then midway through Black Ops, not only was I getting good, but I was better than everybody in like high school and stuff. And still to this day, I've never like met someone in person and like played Call of Duty with someone I would say is better than me. So a little bit of a backstory, and it started back then. And I would just get dogs all the time. The kill streak.
But
If it makes it better, Austin, if I had to choose a multiplayer game, I was also gonna choose Overwatch.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that's about the only multiplayer game I play anymore, at least currently, until the new Call of Duty comes out. So,
If it's
but
good.
yeah, but that about wraps everything up. First off, I want to thank Jackson, Mr. Krober,
Yes,
Cannon,
our special guest.
for coming out. You can always check him out. He's primarily on Twitch, as we were ranting about earlier. But also a special thank you to our sponsor of Vince's Man Cave. That'll be in the description down below to go check out the shop there.
And all Jackson's links too, obviously, and Austin's links and everything. Yep.
Yep.
And yeah, have a good one.